And that way, when you go to prying the trim off, so you can see I've already started taking that out with a flat head. Pry this piece of trim out. Once again, it's not nailed. It just crumbles.
Today, I do have to fix this.
Here, pull in any other nails. Okay, there's no place pretty much. There's a couple of holes right there, some hole there, leg flaking off.
Okie dokie, what you see right here is some paneling, and today I'm going to show you how to take this trim off, how to take this paneling off.
First off, for today, I'm going to show you guys some things. This is going to be like a small crowbar because I just have some smaller trim, but you could use a regular crowbar. I have a hammer to remove nails. I have this little screwdriver pry tool right here to get in those little tiny thin spots to get that trim started, to get the bigger thing started in behind it. The razor blade here is the first thing that you're gonna take. So get your razor blade, and in this case, there's some trim right here, and this trim connects to the paint, the wall. This is a sheetrock wall in this scenario. And there you got the sheetrock wall right here with a piece of trim that has a piece of paneling over this right here. And what I'm gonna be doing is going all smooth wall in this house. So I'll have to remove this trim and I'll have to remove this wall paneling. And so the first thing you're gonna do is take that razor blade and you're gonna cut right here. You're gonna take it, let me show you an example. And in my case, I don't have to do this. You can see there's already a small separation right there, and you can see that trim is already kind of, it's almost like it never got put in that well. But anyway, in some cases, if it was better, you'd have some paint and or some caulking right here. Okay, so you're gonna need to take this razor blade to cut that paint and that caulking, and you're gonna run it down that trim just like this, all the way down all that trim, okay? And that way, when you go to prying the trim off, it doesn't rip your paint up here, because you don't wanna mess up all this. So you wanna cut that caulking and that paint first. So that's the first thing you're gonna wanna do. But actually, the real first thing you wanna do is take a look at your wall. Okay, and in my case, in this case right here, I have a flashlight, and I'm gonna show you guys, which we've already seen. This trim right here, it has a small separation in it right there, which is why you can see that trim moving right there, like you can see it moving off the wall. Now that we've been taking the razor blade and cut the caulking and the paint and all that, you know, blah, blah, blah. But another thing you want to look for is where that trim connects. Okay, it connects into there, which we've looked at that piece. Here's another thing covering the paneling right here, and you can see the paneling is not actually behind this trim. So that's going to be important when you're taking it off. If the paneling is behind this trim, then it's probably original to the house. Okay, but this is like an aftermarket job because it looks like somebody came into this after. Hopefully not an electrician, unless it was a good one, because I hope there's not a whole bunch of holes behind this wall paneling. But anyway, we're about to find that out. So looking down here, I can see that this is an aftermarket job, and this paneling, because of the crack right here, and there's a wall behind it, that somebody just put this on there. So we don't know exactly why yet, but somebody did. And all the way down, you can see it just butts up to this trim right here. So the wall paneling is just butting up to this so far, and it has this trim on it. Okay, and at the bottom down here, you can see also, if we look all the way down, yep, it's butting up to this trim right here. So this baseboard and this trim right here, so the door frame trim and this baseboard right here are original to this 1940 home. And somebody's come in and put this paneling right here and just cut it and set it right there in that corner. And then they put this right here. How do I know that? Because if you look at it, you'll see that this little piece of wood right here is almost just like a piece of corner round, just like this right here. It's just shaped a little bit differently. It's like an inside corner round with a little inside indentation instead of a oval rounded thing like that. So what you can see right here is there's a door frame board, baseboard right here, trim board, and then there's a baseboard right here, and then there's like an inward piece of corner round right there. And then there's a real piece of quarter round down here, probably for the flooring, because that's an aftermarket flooring as well. But anyway, moving on. So I have to remove this top board piece of trim, and you're gonna need to do the same thing. You're gonna need to take a razor blade, if there's paint on this paneling or whatever, and cut it first. Maybe even cut it down here too, so that when you're ripping that off, you're not damaging the paint. In my case, I'm not worried about this paint because that's what I'm taking this off, and I'm gonna be repainting this and fixing it and doing all those things. So in this demonstration, I'm just showing you, here's the paneling, and it's held on with that piece of trim right there. It's butting up to this trim. There's a piece of trim right here that's holding it on. And if you look down here, oh, we have a little outlet right here, a little receptacle. So you can see I've already started taking that out with a flat head. You'll need a flathead screwdriver to take that out, lefty loosey, righty tighty. So we'll take that cover off. It's that piece of trim all the way down to here. Look, we got a piece of trim right here too, this little piece of trim in the corner. You'll need to take that out. So we'll pry this piece of trim out. Once again, it's not nailed very good either. So I'll have to remove this, remove that top little corner round board. And then if there was one over here, we'd have to remove it too, but there's not. So what I'm gonna do is set you down now, and I'm gonna show you this in live action. But remember, look and observe first before you go and ripping that off, because you don't wanna mess up your entire wall, especially if you're not good at doing drywall work. Me, I'm not worried about this at all. So anyway, I'm gonna set you guys down and show you. Another thing that you might need is a screw gun or a screwdriver to take out, obviously to take out the receptacle outlet cover, but you also might need a screwdriver to take out screws, okay, if you have screws inside the wall. In my case, this is a really older home and there is no screws. So I'm only gonna be videoing this portion so you can see closer up what I'm doing. So you might not see my head. My head's gonna be probably chopped off, but here it is right here. You would take your razor blade first. Okay, now I'm going to cut the trim at the bottom and make sure you can see that at the bottom. Yeah, you can see that at the bottom. I gotta fix my knife. Hold on one second, let me pause you. Razor blade came out. We're back. Now what I'm going to do is take this tool. First I'm going to take the smaller one, this one. Now I'm taking these two things. So the reason it appears as though the reason this wall paneling was on the wall is because I do have lead-based paint. And so you do want to be careful because there is dust fibers, lots of dust from me taking this off, and that's going to be from some of the lead and some of the sheetrock dust that I had from sanding. So you might want to wear a mask if you can, but anyway, so it's going to be minor lead exposure, I guess, unless you wear a mask. But here it is right here. This is the reason they put the wall paneling on there, and you can see this is lead-based paint because it crinkles off. It crinkles off. You can, you see what it's doing, whatever the word is. it just crumbles. Yeah, it crinkles and crumbles and breaks and falls right off the wall just by pretty much just touching it like this. And you can hear it, it's like metal, you can hear it hitting the ground. Listen. Yeah. So it's not that's not really supposed to be like, paint's not supposed to do that. It's not supposed to be that heavy and that brittle and that flaky. And it's really bad actually. It's really bad right here. If you can see that, if I hold it against the wall kind of like this, you can see just how bad that lead-based paint is. And I know it doesn't even do it justice really, the video. But at the end of the day, I do have to fix this or put the wall paneling back on. In my case, I'm gonna fix it. And it's just what the ceiling used to look like earlier today. I just finished the ceiling project, so go check that out. How to cover an old lead-based paint ceiling, but I'll be fixing this wall inside of video as well. Redoing the mud seam right here. So I'll be fixing this mud seam, pulling out the nails from the trim, going over and scraping off the lead, skim coating over the wall, going over this mud seam right here, pulling any other nails, pulling out the receptacle, put a new receptacle in, put a new cover on, clean up the trim, and then of course I'll put a new floor and everything else. But I will be keeping the ceiling now that that's done, and this trim board, and I'll be keeping this trim board right down there. But anyway, hopefully this video was helpful in some way, and expect to, if somebody puts something like this on the wall, expect to find something like this behind it, because most people don't just do aftermarket stuff like that for no reason. Well, we found the reason. The wall looked just like the ceiling, and you can see this is what the ceiling used to look like right over here. The whole ceiling pretty much looked just like that. And I have videos on all this inside my episode series playlist. Got it to look brand new now. And now I'm gonna do the same thing to this wall. This was the first step, removing the wall paneling so that I can get a smooth finish on this wall from the top to the bottom and not have anything other than just a smooth wall here. Now I have that wall paneling removed from the left all the way around the kitchen to the right. And you'll notice a similar situation where all the lead's flaking off, okay? Another thing you'll notice is there's no seams here in the corners, okay? There's no tape. Nobody taped the seams where the sheetrock meets here, here, there. There's also lead just flaking off on every single place pretty much. There's a couple of holes right there. Some lead flaking off over here. There's a hammer hole there, a hammer hole there, a hammer hole there. Lead flaking off, lead flaking off. There's a mud seam that I have to do here, top to bottom, so I'll be doing that. This one in the corner, I'll be doing that. These two and this one, I'll be doing all those. There's one down here, one down here. There's one across there, one down here, one across there. There's one that comes down here and one that goes down there. And of course, they didn't go over the nail holes. So, and there's two different colors of paint, so we'll have to paint this more than once, probably twice. And then there's the lead-based paint that's flaking off. Now, I'll be making a full video on how to scrape off lead-based paint, so follow me over to that video, that episode. And then after that, I'll be making a video on how to fix and repair all these mud seams and everything like that. But the quick rundown is you're gonna have to mud and tape everything, okay? You're gonna have to scrape all the lead off, mud and tape everything, scrape it, everything, skim coat everything, pull all the nails out, go over everything 2 or 3 times and get it all looking super nice. You're gonna go horizontal, diagonal, vertical, and one last sanding and a paint and then another paint job in case the color differences and this and that. So you're gonna have several phases. If you wanna follow me over and watch that, you can go to that. If you feel comfortable with the rest of it, doing it yourself, go ahead and do that. But if this video was helpful in any way, getting you to this point, like I said, follow me over to the next steps if you want to get more detail. But if this video was helpful in any way, go ahead and like it, subscribe to the channel if you like home improvement videos, and I will see you guys next time.